And tonight we're taking on the image of the Tea Party in our area. Are they misunderstood? Joining us right now are Democratic strategist Tara Dowdell and David Webb, one of the co-founders of TeaParty365.org. Let me start with you, David. Many associate the Tea Party with Sarah Palin. What do you make of that?
Well, that's just media hype. I mean, she's spoken it a lot. She's had a high profile, clearly high profile since she ran for vice president, but she does not lead the Tea Party.
Tara?
I think that Sarah Palin is very front and center as it relates to the Tea Party. She's spoken at several Tea Party events, and she's been endorsing candidates and speaking on behalf of the Tea Party. So I don't think that people can really run from the role that she's playing in the Tea Party.
Pennsylvania Governor Ed Rendell said that the Tea Party is really hurting the GOP. Do you agree with that, David?
Well, he'd like to think that, but the fact is that the Tea Party's main goal, and I think one of the key things it can do, is get the GOP back on track, get the Republicans back to their fundamental principles of limited government, free market solutions, and constitutionality. Americans don't trust government on both sides. They have not done the job right, and the Tea Parties are an American outcry for getting back to the job they were sent to do.
Tara, do Americans trust government, do you think?
I think Americans tend to be cynical about government. I think people around the world tend to be cynical about their governments. But here's the reality. The United States of America is growing. The gross domestic product is 3%. That is strong. That's stronger than Europe. That's stronger than most of the world.
You hear a lot about Take Back America. And some of the people that I talk to on the street say that that's kind of a veiled reference of some sort of racist agenda. What do you think?
Well, I think it's fundamentally false. I mean, Take Back America refers to people who disagree with the policies, the tax and spend policies, the big government policies of the progressives, who arguably are now in charge of even the traditional Democrats in Washington and in some of the state houses.
Tara, do you think?
Well, I think here's what I find problematic is that there are some people who are affiliated with the Tea Party. Dale Robertson, TeaParty.org, there's a picture of him holding a sign using the N-word. Now, granted, I do not believe that the majority of people in the Tea Party, that he's representative of them. However, I don't think that enough has been done by the Tea Party to say this is not appropriate. I think no matter what the political affiliation is, when people cross the line, we on both sides of the aisle need to condemn it.
Speaking for myself, as the leader of the largest movement in the largest city in America, as an independent group, I've certainly done it. I know many other members who've done it. I'm now part of the National Tea Party Federation, and our goal is to make sure that the right message is out there. Look, Tara's right.
Well, what is the right message? That's the question I have. I mean, the Tea Party can be a lot of different things depending on what part of the country you're in.
Yeah, because there is a regional flair to it when it comes to local candidates. But the overall message still stays the same. Government is growing too big. It is unsustainable as it is in New Jersey. And we need capital growth in this country, free market capitalism, and we need a smaller government.
Let me ask you one other final question here. There's a derisive term that they call the party tea baggers. What do you make of that?
Well, let's look at the fact that from Nancy Pelosi, from the Democrat leadership, they derided the Tea Party, they marginalized it, and then they go along with the use of an offensive word where Senator Chuck Schumer, Pelosi, Reid, all of them have used this term. Even President Obama has used this term. Now, that's not a term you use as such a sexually derisive term.
So, Tara, you're saying
to Americans.
I think it's unfair to assume all of us knew what that term meant. Not all of us. Not all of us. Not all of us frequent the type of sites and the type of and know about some of those lascivious. No, it's a lascivious term, and not everyone knew what it meant. I personally had no idea what it meant. I mean, I think it's unfair to assume that all of us know what perverted terms are.
Well, I can just hear everybody going to Google right now to find out what those terms are. Tara Dowdell and David Webb, we thank you very much for joining us to take it on tonight.